a letter.
Oh, thank you. I wonder who it's from. Yeah, let's find out. Dear Annabelle and Sophie, I hope you are both well during lockdown. Since we can't see you to give you pocket money, I have sent some money for you to half between you. Lots of love, Grandma. How much did you send us? OMG. She sent us £46. Gosh, that's a lot. I know. But what's half?
Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Marvellous Maths. I hope you're well. Now we just saw a video of Annabelle and Sophie who received a letter with some money in it, and they needed to share that money equally between them. They needed to halve it. So today's video we're going to learn how to halve, and then we're going to help them find out how much money they're going to get each from their letter. But first of all, let's warm up our brains. So then, to warm our brains up today, we're going to have another go at another Flashback 4. So are we ready? Pause the video while you have a go at these addition and subtraction problems. How did you get on, guys? Did you remember how to solve your addition and subtraction problems? Let's have a look at how we do them. So, our first one, 62 add 7. So what's the first thing we do when we see a number sentence like this? We label it sakata, sakata, sakata. Starting, counting, target. We put our starting number in our head, put 62 in my head, and our counting number on our fingers, 7 on our fingers. And because we're adding, we're counting on. Ready? Count with me from 62. Stop, stop. Go! 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. So our answer is 69. Good job if you got that one. Okay, so on to our next one then. 85 take away 6. We label it sakata, sakata, sakata. We put our starting number in our head. So 85 goes in our head. And we put our counting number on our fingers, so 6 on our fingers, but this time, because we're taking away, we're counting back. That's right. Okay then, count back with me from 85. Ready? Stop, stop, go. 84, 83, 82, 81, 80, 79. So our answer is 79. Good job if you got that. Okay, so now we move on to our column addition and column subtraction. So the first thing we need to do is label our columns. So we've got our tens and our ones. And we always start with which column in column addition? The ones column. Okay, so my number sentence is 8 add 5. So 8 is my starting number and 5 is my counting number. So 8 in my head, 5 on my fingers, and count on. Ready? Stop, stop, go. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I put my 3 from my 13 in my ones column, and then I need to carry my 10 into the tens column. Okay, so now I move on to my tens column. I've got 7 add 2. So 7 in my head, and 2 on my fingers, and count on. Ready? Stop, stop, go. 8, 9. But I've got that one more that I carried on down here. So 9, one more than 9 is 10. So I put my 0 from my 10 in this column. And then I carry my 10 into my hundreds column. I've got nothing else in my hundreds column, so it's only 1 in my hundreds column. So 78 add 25 is 103. Super job if you got that one. Okay, finally onto my column subtraction. I'll label my columns hundreds, tens and ones. I start with my ones column. So I put 2 in my head and 5 on my fingers, and I count back. But hang on a second, my counting number is bigger than my starting number, and that's a problem when we're doing subtraction. So what do I need to do? I have to knock next door and take 1 from next door. So I'm going to take 1 from my tens column. So I cross out my 8, 1 less than 8 is 7, good job. And that 1 that I took from my tens column can now move across to my ones column. So 12, take away 5. 12 in my head, 5 on my fingers and count back. Count with me, ready, stop, stop, go. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So in my ones column, I've got 7. Now I move on to my tens column. So I've got 7, take away 7. 7 in my head and 7 on my fingers and count back. Ready, stop, stop, go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So I've got nothing in my tens column, but I must make sure I put my 0 in there as a placeholder or my answer will be incorrect. So now I move on to my hundreds column. I've got 2, take away nothing. Well, taking away nothing from 2, I'm left with 2. So my answer there was 207. Super job if you got all of my Flashback 4 correct today. So then, what are we learning today? Well, we know from our video earlier that we're going to need to practice halving. So our learning intention is, can I accurately halve numbers? And as part of today's lesson, we're going to practice and recall half of numbers to 20. And then we're going to halve numbers to 100 using partitioning. So what is halving? Well, to find half of a number, you have to share it into 2 equal groups. Now, equal is important because I don't just share them into 2 groups, they have to be equal, which means the same. And it's the same as dividing by 2. Now, for doubling, I used my doubling ladybird to help me, but for halving, I used my halving butterfly. Let me show you how. Let's start with this one up here, half of 10. So I put 10 into the body of my butterfly because that's the number that I'm trying to halve. That's the number I need to share equally. Now, the reason I use a butterfly to help me is because butterflies' wings are symmetrical. I wonder if you can remember what symmetrical means. Symmetrical, if you remember from Miss Weatherall's video on symmetry, means the same on both sides. It's like a mirror image. And if I have the same spots on this wing and this wing, then I will have equal groups. So I'm going to share my 10 between each wing. Now, it's important to do 1 each as we go. We don't just do all of them on one wing or we won't find half. So count with me up to 10 and remember to shout stop when we get to 10. Are we ready? Let's share that number between the wings. Stop, stop, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop! So I've shared 10 into 2 equal groups. Now, to find half of 10, I need to count up all the spots on just one wing. So all of these spots here. And I'm going to cross them out as I count them so that I don't count them twice and I don't miss any out. Are we ready? Count with me. Stop, stop, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half of 10 is 5. Awesome job. Okay, let's have a look then at the next one, which is half of 6. So where do I put 6? 6 goes in the body of my butterfly. So put 6 here. And I'm going to share 1 for each wing until I reach 6. Are we ready? Count with me. Ready, stop, stop, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stop! Now I count all of the spots on one wing. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So half of 6 is 3. So using the halving butterfly, I'd like you to have a go at the other 4 questions on the screen. Pause the video while you have a go at halving these numbers. How did you get on, guys? Should we have a look at the answers? Here we go. So, half of 10 is 5, half of 6 is 3, half of 18 is 9, half of 4 is 2, half of 20 is 10, and half of 14 is 7. Good job if you got all of those correct. have you managed to spot a pattern in all of the numbers that we're halving? Every number that we've halved today is an even number, and a number must be even for us to be able to half it. Now we're going to move on to something a little bit trickier now, but if you feel you need a break, now is a good point to pause the video and go and grab yourself a drink and have a quick run around, and then come back when you're ready to sit down and finish off today's lesson. Pause the video if you need a break now. Okay, so in my doubling video, we used rods and cubes to help us to partition a number. Do you remember I told you that one of these orange rods is made up of 10 of these white cubes? So every time we see this orange rod, we know it represents 10. Now this is going to help us in our halving just like it did in our doubling. Let me show you how. So the first question we need to answer is half of 24. Now, I could use my halving butterfly and draw out dots just as I have been on the last few questions, but drawing out 24 dots is going to take me a really long time, and there's a quicker way of doing it. So let's have a look at how we partition the number. So the number we're trying to halve is 24, which is made up of 2 10s and 4 1s. So if I were to use my rods and my cubes to show 24, how many orange rods and how many white cubes would I have? Let's have a look. I've got 2 10s, so I need 2 orange rods. 24, I've got 4 white cubes. Let's count them up together, counting in 10s for my rods and 1s for my cubes. Ready? 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So here I have 24. Now let's use the halving butterfly to help us find half of 24. Just as I did before, I put 24 in the middle of the butterfly. Let's double check I've got that right. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 24 is in the middle of my butterfly. Now I need to share it into 2 equal groups. So we'll start with the 10s, and remember we give 1 to one wing and then we give 1 to the next wing. So I've got 10 in each wing. Do I have any other 10s to share? Nope. So now let's do my 1s. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've used all of my 24 that's in the middle of the butterfly. So now I can count up 1 wing. So I've got 10, 11, 12. So half of 24 is 12. Awesome, well done. Let's have a look at the next one then. So my next question is half of 48. What is half of 48? Well, 48 can be partitioned into 4 10s, 40, and 8 1s, 8. 48. So how many rods and how many cubes am I going to need to show 48? I'm going to need 4 10s, 4 rods, and 8 1s, 8 cubes. So here we go. I've got 48. Let's double check. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. Fantastic, I've got 48. So now I share equally. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. There we go, I've shared them equally. So now I can count up 1 wing. Ready? 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So half of 48 is 24. I've got one more question to show you how it could get a little bit trickier, and then it's going to be your turn to have a go on your own. So the next one I'm going to do is half of 36. Now 36 has 3 tens and 6 ones. So how many rods and cubes am I going to need to show this one? I'm going to need 3 rods and 6 cubes. So here we go, 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Fantastic. So now I share them equally. We'll start with my tens. 10, 20, hang on, now I've got a problem. Because if I give this wing this rod, I don't have another rod to give to this wing. So I can't put that into a wing. Now this is where we need to remember what each rod is worth. Because I could use 1 orange rod for this, or I could use 10 white cubes. So here we go. Now I've got that orange rod split into 10 white cubes, as well as the 6 white cubes that I had as part of 36. So now I share my ones. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Whew, that was a lot of ones to share. Okay, now I can count up one wing and I should have found 36. Are you ready? Count with me. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So half of 36 is 18. So remember, if we have an odd number here, so I told you earlier that a number must be even for us to be able to halve it. Now 36 is an even number, but when we came to halving our tens, we had 3 tens, and 3 is an odd number. So remember, if your tens is an odd number, you're going to need to change one of your rods into 10 cubes. So let's recap the method that I said you could use last time instead of rods and cubes. We've got half of 82 as our next question. Now 82 is made up of 8 tens and 2 ones. And I said that the rods look like a line and the cubes look like a dot. So we're going to need 8 lines and 2 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 2 dots, 1, 2. Now I can share them evenly. So, 1, oh that was a long one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and my 2 ones, 1, 2. So I can count them up, 10, 20, 30, 40, 41. So half of 82 is 41. So now you know that you can use lines and dots to help you represent tens and ones. You can have a go at these questions here, halving these numbers using the halving butterfly. Pause the video while you have a go at these questions. How did you find them, guys? There were some tricky ones in there and some really big numbers like 98. I wonder, did you remember to change your 10 into 10 ones if you had an odd number for the tens? If you didn't, you can pause the video and have another go now. Here are the answers then, guys. Half of 40 is 20. Half of 52 is 26. Half of 70 is 35. Half of 66 is 33. And half of 98 is 49. Fantastic job if you managed to get all of those correct. So now let's see if we can use our halving skills to help out Annabelle and Sophie. Now, Annabelle and Sophie were really, really lucky, and they received a letter from their relatives with £46 for them to share equally between them, but they didn't know how to half £46. Can you half £46 and work out how much each of the girls should get? Pause the video while you have a go. Well, half of 46 is 23. Well done if you managed to work out that half of 46 is 23. And awesome for Sophie and Annabelle that they each get £23. What a lockdown surprise. You've worked really hard today, so keep up the good work for the rest of the week and look out for Miss Weatherall's video on Wednesday. I'll see you again on Friday for some more Marvellous Maths with me. Bye guys!